What the order of the president for the Africans are for is for us to have our freedom. Then he gets into another conversation with him, essentially saying to him, what do the Africans desire? Or they say, what is captivity? I don't use the SL word. I don't use the word slavery. I say captivity. He said, what does captivity mean to the Africans? He said, it's irresistible power that somebody has over somebody else and controlling their lives and their work. Then what occurs is this. When Sherman his phrase with, what does the Civil War represent to y'all in general? What needs to happen for y'all? And National Fraser breaks down and says that this war is not just about our freedom, but we must have land. We must have land so the old men will work it, the women will work it, and the children will work it. He said, the young men, we've already sent them over to Fort Pulaski and to Mitchellville to go join the fight for the war. He said, then we'll be able to take care of ourselves and have a surplus. As I throw this out to folks and said that what he's saying surplus is about engaging in business, being able to develop wealth. He understands that. What is also happening now with regards to this is that he now puts it out there. He says that we cannot live with the Buckras, cannot live with the whites, because they're not going to treat us as equals. Because for so long they've had this irresistible power over us, over our destinies. You can't expect them to treat us as equals right now. It will take years to correct. And so what happens, Sherman then will go and poll the rest of the ministers there. He was like, do y'all agree with Brother Fraser? They said, yes. 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 He's correct. Yes. Yes. One said, I don't know about that. I don't necessarily agree with him about that. I think that we can all get along together. Now, who was that person you think it was? Reverend James Lynch, because he was out of Maryland. He did not, I'll say this, he did not experience the sting of the lash. He did not experience the sting of the loss of a family member. He was not like Reverend Ulysses Houston in Savannah, Georgia, who operated a butcher shop and grocery store on the first level of a building that on the third floor had the Negro Marts. And when they interviewed Houston about what took place on the third floor, he said, I heard of 1,000 poor African souls crying and screaming over the loss of family members. He said you can never get out your memory the chains and the shackles going up the steps and along the streets and hearing the wail of the children for their parents and the parents for their children. He said those times were hell. Those times were hell. So he hadn't experienced any of that. So Lynch didn't have that same perspective. And so what happens? They go around and say, all right, yeah. So Sherman get at this meeting, and he's looking at these people like, wow, okay. And they ask the question about, can you all govern yourselves? Fraser's like, in fact, no, do you all have the intelligence to govern yourselves? Fraser's like, yes, we do have the intelligence to govern ourselves. We have the ability to do that. And are you all interested in supporting the Union with regards to joining the war? That's when Fraser's like, well, we don't like how you all are doing it, forcing people to join the effort. Let the ministers be the ones to get the young people. They're going to do it. Some of them want to do it anyway because some of them got some anger in their hearts right now because of what has happened to them and their families. We think they don't have the right mind, but they want to do it. My thing, like, they had the right mind, even though that was Fraser's perspective. But then he's like, yeah, we can do this. We got the ability to do it. And so Sherman would leave from out of the meeting, and he would then go and address what we know as something known as Special Field Order Number 15, 40 Acres and a Mule. One of the ministers at the meeting also, his name is Reverend John Cox, and is at his church, Second African Baptist Church, where General Rufus Saxon will go and say, Africans, go to the land, go to the islands. Go to the islands. Go to the islands. Go ahead and take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And that you all are in charge, and we will be the ones governing and protecting you all there. No Caucasians, no Buckers will be allowed there. And so people right there, 3,000 Africans are not gathered there. They're hearing this right here. They're like, oh, yeah. Oh yeah, our sweat equity has entitled us to these properties right here. And so they're like, yes, and they're liking it. And then one of them by the name of Reverend Ulysses Houston would go to Skidaway Island in Savannah, leading 1,000 Africans to Skidaway Island and setting up their own schools. They set up their own school system on Skidaway Island, their own government on Skidaway Island, and had their own militia on Skidaway Island right there. And what they write, they said that when boats came by that were operated by Buckers, they fired on the boats, saying, this is black lands right here. This is black land. You're not allowed here. The general has said this. You understand? You are not allowed here. And I'm like, yeah. And I said something about school system, but I didn't give y'all initially the backdrop because I want to get to it right here. I talk about these underground schools in Savannah, and we talk about the intelligence, because Sherman arrived in Savannah, as I say, on December 21st, 1864. On January 3rd, 1865 in Savannah, our ancestors created their own school system. They paid for their own superintendent, their own principals, their own teachers, and secured their own buildings. One of the principals inside for one of the schools was Reverend James Porter. Another one was Reverend James Sims. And so they had their own school system. And they taught the children during the day and taught the adults at night. And what occurred? Northern teachers came down here. And they began saying, like on St. Helena, y'all had the people come over here. Northern teachers in Savannah, they tried to come to Savannah also. And later on, they were successful with regard to his title, but the government did. They come to us, they go to us and say, why aren't you all sending your children to us to teach them? That's what our ancestors said. These people just come out of captivity. They say, your standards for our children are here. Our standards for our children are here. Here go these Africans who just come out of captivity, had a greater expectation of excellence from their children than what many people have today. That's one part to it. Northern writers, when they came down here, they said, when we went inside some of the buildings that they're not educating these Africans in, they said you can see the chains and the shackles on the walls in the classroom that the children are being taught in. Guess what our people did in Savannah? They had turned the former marts into schools. So right there, the children saying they're learning, they got the chains and the shackles on the wall. So Reverend Ulysses Houston, on the third level he was talking about, that had once been a place of horror, they now turned to a place of enlightenment. And as I share, folks, our older ancestors will send a message to our younger ancestors saying that you will never return back to that. You will get your education. That's what they did. These are the type of people that you're dealing with. These are the people that understood that, we must do it. And what happened? On January 3rd, 1865, over 500 African children marched out of First African Baptist Church and went to these former marts that had been turned into schools. And Linda Brent, some of y'all know as Linda Brent, some might know it by another name, Harriet Jacobs, out of Edenton, North Carolina, out the northern part of the Gullah Geechee Quarter. Life and Incidents of a Slave Girl, that's her book. She and her daughter came down to look at the schools, inspect the schools. And she was documenting. She said, well, wait a minute. In Savannah, she said the majority of schools in Savannah are actually operated by the Africans, not by Caucasians. That the Africans in Savannah were understanding that education was the key. So when that's being spit out by Frazier, he was like, you already doing this. We already understand this. We're looking, and you look at, let me tell you about South Carolina. This is an experience that I know about in Savannah. In Savannah, I know that we don't like to acknowledge our South Carolinian ties because we like to make it seem like things just happen in Savannah and that's it. I tell people, no. When you talk about this area right here, since the ancient times, you got to always understand Southern South Carolina, coastal Georgia always been connected. So they're talking about the Savannah, and then they say, no, we do this over here in Jasper County, Beaufort County, Carleton County, and Charleston County. Now, you got something happening over here right now. Mitchellville, on Hilton Head. You all act like, not y'all, people outside. You all make it seem like Mitchellville just happened just like that. We're not realizing Mitchellville is connected to Reverend Ulysses Houston, Reverend Abraham Murchison, the first black mayor in the entire United States, out of Savannah, Georgia, from First Bryan Baptist Church. The recruiter for black men to not join the Union Army, right there, the first South Carolina Volunteers. So they're right there, and so right there, Mitchellville not acknowledging that Savannah connection, Fort Pulaski and all that right there. And so that's why Dan Fraser's like, since 1862, we've been handling stuff over there. That's our people over there on Hilton Head. Then, gonna look like this. We got a spy network in Savannah too. So we got the intelligence. Y'all know about the spy network? During the Civil War, there were spy networks. During the Civil War. Oh, y'all just know about Harriet Tubman. Now I realize that there were thousands of other Africans also as spies for the Union during the Civil War. One of the networks in Savannah since 1862 was in Savannah, operated by a husband and wife who were originally out of Jasper County, South Carolina, that operated out of First African Baptist Church and at Fort Pulaski and on Hilton Head at Mitchellville. So I said, these are not ordinary people right here, but their stories are not told. Again, Deacon Marsh Haynes and his wife, they're the ones operating the spy network. And when the Confederates finally discovered him, he escaped from out of the prison in Savannah, they then set up the spy network base coming from Hilton Head and Fort Pulaski now, coming back to Savannah to now help Africans escape and get their freedom. Yeah. And I'm going to end with regard to the aftermath. The aftermath is this. We are not like Charleston. We're not like some of the other areas of southern South Carolina, over on the other side of the Savannah River. We are not like them because we do not have plantations, museums going back to the antebellum period. Did not happen in Savannah. They attempted it. Didn't happen because something happened in Savannah called Special Field Order Number 15. And when Andrew Johnson would renege on the promise of the Africans having the property, something occurred in Savannah called the Yamacraw Rebellion, the Louisville Rebellion, the Ogeechee Rebellion, where Africans now say, what? You trying to tell us we got to give up this property? Huh. Our sweat equity entitled us to this land. We're not giving it up. This is not going to happen. So they actually fought the Union forces. They fought the army. They resisted. They resisted them until the federal government understood something. They said, wait a minute. Those Africans will continue to fight us as long as we send them there. They said, what we're going to do, we're not going to send them to remove them. We're going to send them there. People look just like them. We're going to not send the black soldiers. They'll fight the white soldiers. But send the black soldiers now to remove them. And so that's when Reverend Tunis Campbell and others who are now in control of these islands and the coastal areas, they're like, oh, shoot. They're like, we will not pick up arms against other black men. They have endured the same lash of the whip like us, the loss of family members like us. We will not pick up arms against our brothers like that. And so that's why they cannot make the move. But what happened, folks in Savannah and Chatham County, Georgia, they began to realize these former plantation owners, they were like, these Africans are not going to let us have peace because they endured this up until like early 1900. They were like, give the land up to the state of Georgia, sell it. Because, again, in Savannah, these folks said, we were right there. We heard what Saxon said. We heard what Sherman said. We understood we're supposed to have these lands right here. And one of the people that they tried to get to make the Africans give up the properties was a man by the name of Reverend James Sims. Sims was like, no way in hell I'm going to tell my people to give up that property. He said, they work for these lands right here. I seen the stuff happen to them on the plantations with my own family. No, I will not. Even though I'm an agent for the Freedmen's Bureau, I will not encourage them to give up the lands. Oh, I should let you know this. These men who were not ordinary, let you know this. They were the radicals. They were the militants. See, because what some people don't realize, at least I had to go see maybe in Savannah, may not be other places. In Savannah, the radicals and the militants in Savannah were the ministers and the businessmen. The businessmen and the ministers and the radicals were the militants and the radicals in Savannah. Today, those are some of the most conservative groups of all in our community. The ones who try to hold the status quo. But back then, they were the ones that say, we must fight and endure. That's why Bishop Henry Neal Turner became the person that he was. Ooh. That's why some of these same men will later become the founders of the Republican Party in Georgia. Reverend James Sims, Reverend James Porter, Reverend Ulysses Houston, Bishop Henry McNeil Turner. and then one of them leave from Savannah. He then goes out west to a place called Mississippi, Reverend James Lynch, who would then become the first, or I should say, the only African American to be elected Secretary of State in the state of Mississippi. That we begin to see some of the HBCUs in Mississippi now coming to fruit right there. These men that we see at this meeting, no ordinary men. And I tell them we have to follow their legacy. We must understand what they said was, say what war, Fiena, Sankofa, a Yankee, Bondi Chawazi, Top Moon, Bondi, Pagengong. Let's go back into your past, reclaim your story. And God bless all of us and understand that we are God's select and that God's pencil has no eraser. They are our stories that we must tell, and too few of us are telling the stories, and that's why we allow the mythologies to come and rule our case, rule our days with regard to who we are. And I didn't know if you want me to have questions or something like that.
If y'all can even bring up one after ingesting all of that knowledge.
There's a whole bunch more. Yeah.
I know it is. This only tip of the iceberg what he gave me, believe it or not. Any questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
So we know that there's legislation on the books
Yes.
that was put in place to protect Gullah Geechee properties.
Yes.
What can we do to re-engage that conversation and make it be fortuitous